what it means for you when you sign this agreement with me. Hey there, if you're watching this video, you may be one of my subscribers, someone who just came across my page, or one of my current clients. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. It's always good to see you here on our YouTube channel. And this video is a little bit different than others, but as usual, it's packed with good information and good to know real estate advice. So please stick around till the end. If you are one of my clients and I've forwarded you this video, hi, and welcome to the YouTube channel. This specific video was made just for you. It means that we're getting to the fun part of our agreement and going out to look at homes or land. But before we do that, I want to take a couple of minutes to walk through my whole process and how things go step by step, as well as discuss with you the document that I sent over, which is the buyer agency agreement. And more importantly, I want to talk to you about what it means for you when you sign this agreement with me. So this is me officially going to work for you, starting with this video and explaining what I sent you. This agreement exists because of lots of years of combined real estate experience and lawyers dealing with realtors. So let's break it down in plain English, and I will share a few things that help us move through this process like pros. You may have heard about the NAR settlement that made headlines in 2024, the National Association of Realtors. That's what NAR stands for. Long story short, the industry made some changes to increase transparency around how buyers agents, the agents that work with the buyer to find and buy a home, are compensated. So one of those changes was that every agent nationwide now needs to have a signed buyer agency agreement that discusses compensation before they show you a property. It's not optional, and it is the standard nationwide. But this actually protects you. It means that I am formally representing your best interests, and it makes it very clear who I'm working for. It ensures that we are on the same page and have discussed all the details before we ever step foot on property that you might be purchasing. This is what you get when you hire me. So we have this agreement, I'm working for you. Now let's talk about what this actually means. When you sign this agreement, you are officially hiring me as your buyer's agent. So what do I do? There's a lot of funny comedians that like to make fun of realtors and talk about us as scam artists. I'm here to tell you that's comedy. First, I'm your advocate from start to finish, not just when we're touring homes, but through financing discussions, negotiations about the property once you're under contract or trying to get under contract with a certain price, inspections, and even all the way to the closing table. I help you get your financing lined up. I'll connect you with trusted local lenders if you need one. I'll help you understand the pre-approval process. Even if you're buying property with the hopes to build, I will stay with you as a new construction consultant if that's what you need and want. And I will give you guidance on protecting your credit all the way to closing, because sometimes small financial changes can accidentally derail an entire purchase process. So we'll talk about that along the way. I help you identify the right properties. I'm not just forwarding listings, and especially not just my own listings. I'm listening to what matters to you and about your lifestyle, commute or not commute, views, real estate resale value, like equity you want to gain, and curating options that make sense for the big picture. When it's time to write an offer, I also bring strategy to the table. Salida definitely has its own rhythm, and pricing trends, negotiation culture, and inspection expectations are all a little different depending on the time of year and the property, and I know how this market works. I help coordinate everything: showings, inspections, contractors to fix things up, deadlines, title, appraisal, and I stay in constant communication with the listing agent, your lender, and the title company, everyone else that might be involved, so that you don't have to chase people down. My number one goal is really simple: get you the best possible deal with the least amount of stress. And that's what you're hiring me to do. Sometimes there's ups and downs, that's real estate, but I really tried to make it as smooth as possible for you. So let's talk about compensation. This is the part that everyone has questions about now and everyone wants to know. In the agreement, you will see something called a success fee listed at 3% of the purchase price. For land, it's 3% minimum, up to 5% sometimes, depending on the price of the land. Here's what I want you to know about that. In the Salida market, right now, many sellers are still offering around 2.5% to even 3% to the buyer's agent. And I regularly accept that. I'm not going to hold out over a certain percentage of compensation. And if it risks you losing a home you love, that's not a problem. So why is that written as 3% sometimes in the buyer's agency agreement when people write things like that down? Because NAR now requires us to list a specific number, not a range. I can't put anywhere from 1% to 5%. By putting a certain number in the buyer agency agreement, I have the flexibility to accept less money without stopping mid-transaction to redo our paperwork and our agreement, and it just keeps things a little simpler. Now, if we come across a property where the seller is offering 0 buyer agency compensation, we will have that conversation before ever writing an offer. That is possible. You will always know all of your options when you work with me, and you won't be surprised. And we'll make decisions by me giving you the most information possible and you feeling educated and informed to make the best decision for yourself. So what do you want to be looking for when we go out house hunting? When we're out touring homes, try not to get overly focused on staging and paint colors because those things can change. They're easy to change. These are really easy fixes. So what really matters? The bones of the house, the roof, the age of the roof and condition, the foundation, HVAC systems, plumbing, electric, the water heater. Signs of water intrusion, especially in mountain homes. Look at ceilings, look at corners in the room, look at the basement and the concrete. Snow melt and drainage are really big issues here. How does the house feel in person versus in photographs? Photos are almost always wide angle and will make things appear bigger than they actually are. Also pay attention to lot orientation. Where does the sun hit? Is there road noise? What's next door? That can all affect your daily life and the resale value at some point. So check for cell service, check on internet availability. In our mountain communities, those things are both not a given. Not even on the main roads are they a given, the cell service. If there's an HOA, we will review those rules carefully before you fall in love with a property, and we'll discuss them to see how they fit into your vision of what the home should be. I'll point things out, but I hope that you'll engage too and ask me a lot of questions. There are no dumb questions when you are buying a home, I promise. And the important part for you to know is that I do have a negotiation strategy when we get down to it and you find the right place. Negotiation is not just about a price. We negotiate closing costs, closing dates, repairs, things that might stay with the house, and even sometimes negotiating rate buy downs that the seller can credit to you. Terms can be just as powerful as price. In competitive situations, a clean, well-structured offer where your agent has a really good reputation with the other agents that are presenting the offer can sometimes even beat out a higher number. After inspections, we'll go through the whole report together and I will help you decide what's worth pushing for and what's worth stepping back from. Asking for way too much on really minor items can backfire, so strategy in this area does matter. And if an appraisal comes in low after we get through the inspection, don't panic. There are solutions and I will walk you through all of our options. And I have had success in contesting appraisals in the past for buyers. Emotion is totally normal in the house buying process because buying a home is a really big deal. It's a huge financial decision and it also affects your everyday life. And that's why I'm here to try to be the steady and strategic voice when things feel really overwhelming. What do you not do when you're under contract? Maybe you want to know that. Well, this next part is kind of important. Once you're under contract, meaning your offer has been accepted by the seller and your lender is trying to verify everything again right before going to closing, this is where buyers may sometimes accidentally blow apart their own deal. So here's the rule that you need to know and remember. It involves your job, If it involves your job, your money, or your credit, you need to text me and ask me first. I'm not trying to be nosy. I'm just trying to keep this together until we get to the closing table. Do not change jobs. Do not buy a car. Do not buy lots of furniture. Do not open new credit cards. Don't finance anything. Don't make large unexplained deposits either with gifts from other people. Do not co-sign for anybody else. Do not max out a credit card, but also don't close any credit cards. And don't miss your payments, please. Even positive financial changes can pause and sometimes kill a loan, which I know is weird, but it's something to be aware of. So when in doubt, please just send me a quick text. I promise I won't be annoyed. I would rather answer your questions than try to fix it and pull it all back together later and solve something that's too complicated or impossible to solve. So just ask. The last thing I really want to emphasize is at closing and after closing. I know all of the rest of that was a lot, but I want you walking into this process as informed and as confident as possible. So, buying a home in a mountain town like this is a huge decision. You deserve complete clarity and really strong representation, and I plan to bring that to you. So here's what's next, just so you are aware. Review that buyer agency agreement that I sent to you in your email. RSVP to a Google Meet link so we can connect and I can answer any of your questions. And then we will get you signed with that agreement and ready to start touring properties. Watch for your property tour email so that you can activate it and be looking and heart, light bulb, or thumbs down the right properties. And I'm so excited to help you find your next Colorado mountain home. For those of you who are not clients, but you still stuck through all the way to the end of this video, wow. Thank you for watching all the way through. And I genuinely think if you made it this far, it was for a reason. So call me, text or email me. My info is right here in this YouTube channel. Maybe I can help you find your Colorado mountain home too. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Salida Colorado YouTube channel.